Welcome to Frankly Developing. I'm your host Frank, and today we'll look at naming things in our code. We have to find a lot of names for variables, functions, or classes, and they are really important as they shape our reader's understanding. But it's also really hard. For example, do you know what a gate is? If you do, you'll actually be surprised that you'll likely be wrong about it. I show you the reasons why naming is so hard to get right, and provide you with 3 strategies to counter that. Before we dive into it, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your colleagues about this channel. Let's start with the first challenge we face: associations made by our brain. Think about the name gate again. What comes to your mind? A fence gate from Minecraft? A more traditional gate leading to some estate? A logical gate, for example a NAND gate? The sonar quality gate? Whatever it is, rest assured that it will be different for someone else. Each and every brain will interpret the same name in its own unique way, depending on the culture and experiences of that person. That's reason number 1 why naming is hard, because we cannot know what someone else will associate with a certain name. The second challenge is your team. So if you accept reason 1, then we at least need to verify that everyone on the team understands a name in the way it was meant. But you may know the number of communication lines and how it increases rapidly with the number of people. That doesn't exactly make it easy to talk to everyone about what you mean when you said gate. Luckily, most companies have realized the value they can gain from having diverse teams. Yet at the same time, this means a team will usually consist of people from different cultures and ways of life, thus leading to even more different interpretations of a name. So that's reason number 2. It takes additional effort to make sure everyone on a team understands a certain name in the same way. Finally, a third challenge is that even if you once found a great name, the world around you may go on to change its meaning. For example, a block used to be a big physical object. To the Minecraft player, it might have a drastically different meaning. And if you're active on a social network, you may now block a person. Similarly, following someone used to mean walking behind that other person, following him or her. These days, it's much more common to request you to follow someone's channel. So please show you're up to date on your word meanings and hit that subscribe button to follow the channel. That was the third reason why we have such a struggle around names. Their meaning changes over time, requiring us to constantly re-evaluate names. Now that we understand why naming is as hard as it is, let's take a look at some strategies that you can apply to make your life easier. The first comes from Eric Evans' seminal book on domain-driven design, and it's called the ubiquitous language. Complicated word, but a simple idea. We should invest effort into making sure that everyone in our domain speaks the same language. For example, if your team is developing a Minecraft-like game, then the name block should relate to that central element of the game. If your multiplayer variant somehow supports blocking players, or if you want to refer in your pathfinding to a path being blocked, you have to be twice as careful not to cause confusion. It's also very important that a word's meaning is limited to a certain domain. If your software bridges different domains, then users or stakeholders from different domains may use the same word for different things. In order to get better names, here's our first solution: invest effort into the ubiquitous language. This helps you to minimize misunderstandings around the most important domain concepts. This one may sound boring, and it certainly isn't as helpful for a very small group of people, but for a larger number of people, a glossary helps tremendously. Again, this goes back to the number of those possible communication lines across all those people working on your project. Having a centralized glossary helps everyone to understand the intended meaning of important words. When we said before that you need to invest into the ubiquitous language, this also means that you write down your insights so you can continue discussing and agreeing on the meaning of your domain concepts. So that's the second part to the solution. keep and maintain a glossary to make sure everyone is on the same page. Finally, if we remember the third challenge, the meaning of names changes over time. We need to make sure we update it. In Clean Code, we thus follow the Scouts rule. Always leave a place cleaner than you found it. So if you encounter a name that doesn't feel quite right, go ahead, change it. This follows the basic Clean Code understanding of improving upon the current state. And that's already the third part of the solution. Follow the Scouts rule. A very simple strategy, but one that needs to become a habit, so you and everyone else on your team will continuously fix bad names. When you bring these three solutions together, you will be armed with counter strategies to the hard challenges of naming. Integrate these strategies into your work, and great names will become more likely. There will be less struggle around finding these names. And even if a name isn't that good anymore, you'll have made it a habit to improve it.